Hello and a very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the latest headlines. BJP inducts Kiran Bedi. Party chief Amit Shah indicates key role for her in Delhi elections. Aam Aadmi Party's Kejriwal gets legal notice from Delhi BJP chief Satish Upadhyay. Over 200 terrorists waiting to infiltrate into India, says the army chief on a day when reports suggest that Pakistan is poised to ban 10 terror groups including the Haqqani network and the Jamaat-ud-Dawa. Turkey launches a scathing verbal attack on Israel, compares Benjamin Netanyahu to the Paris terrorists. Israel calls on the world to condemn remarks. And nominations for the 87th Academy Awards announced in Los Angeles. Birdman and the Grand Budapest Hotel scope big with 9 nominations each, but A.R. Rahman loses out despite 3 of his films being shortlisted. Well, just days ahead of the Delhi Assembly polls, the BJP got a major boost with former IPS officer Kiran Bedi joining the party fold. The announcement was made by party president Amit Shah, who also confirmed that Bedi would contest the Assembly polls in Delhi. However, a decision on where she would contest from has not been taken as yet. Here's more.
The BJP may not have formally named Kiran Bedi as its chief ministerial candidate in Delhi, but there were enough indications that the party had found a face for its poll campaign in the national capital. Not only was Finance Minister Arun Jaitley himself present at Bedi's induction, but BJP President Amit Shah first took her to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Shah also announced that Kiran Bedi will contest the Delhi Assembly elections.
वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की ओर से चुनाव भी निश्चित लड़ेगी. मुख्यमंत्री कौन बनेगा वो फैसला पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड का अधिकार क्षेत्र है. पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड इसका निर्णय करेगा. भारतीय जनता पार्टी को ऐसे अनुभवी और विश्वसनीय व्यक्ति के साथ शामिल होने से काफी शक्ति और ताकत मिलेगी.
Bedi thanked the party leader, saying her plunge into politics was inspired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Her remarks also made it quite clear that the BJP had entrusted her a significant responsibility.
ये उनकी इंस्पिरेशनल लीडरशिप बहुत सारे भारतीयों को बदल रहा है, और अब मेरे जैसे व्यक्ति को अगर आज बदला है तो मैं समझती हूँ करोड़ों बदल चुके होंगे. एक नया विश्वास जो मई के बाद जागा है, मई के बाद, एक एब्सोल्युटली आउटस्टैंडिंग है.
Bedi's former associate, Aam Aadmi Party leader Arvind Kejriwal welcomed her entry into politics, although some party leaders expressed surprise at the development.
हम सब लोगों को आश्चर्य करने वाली घटना थी. राजनीति में आने के सवाल पे ही उन्होंने फैसला लिया था कि उनको जीवन भर गैर राजनीतिक रह के अपने आंदोलन के माध्यम से जनता की आवाज को उठाना है, जनता की सेवा को करना है.
Speculation about the BJP fielding Bedi as its chief ministerial candidate had been going on for more than a year. And now, with her at the helm, it looks like a direct contest between her and her former colleague Arvind Kejriwal. Reports also suggest former AAP member Shazia Ilmi and former Samajwadi Party member Jaya Prada could be also joining the BJP ranks soon. Shyam Sundar's report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, the Election Committee of Delhi, BJP, met on Thursday to deliberate on the strategy for the upcoming assembly polls as well as probable candidates. Now, in its first meeting, the committee decided to hold street plays in different parts of the national capital to garner support for voters. The committee discussed probable names for each assembly constituency. After they finalize the list, it will be sent to the central leadership, which will take a final call. At least 25 sitting MLAs of the party are expected to get a ticket. Youth will also be given priority. The party has decided to focus on metro stations for campaigning, as lakhs use the metro for travelling on a daily basis. Senior leaders also deliberated on probable star campaigners for the polls. Meanwhile, Delhi BJP chief Satish Upadhyay has sent a legal notice to Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal a day after he was accused of having a nexus with power discoms in Delhi. The BJP has also moved the Election Commission against Kejriwal, demanding strict action against him for levelling baseless charges. However, AAP remains defiant, with Kejriwal threatening with fresh evidence.
The tussle between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party got more intense on Thursday. The BJP has moved the Election Commission against the Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal, demanding strict action against him for allegedly making baseless charges against its chief in Delhi. On Wednesday, Kejriwal had alleged Upadhyay owns 6 companies, one of which had 2 VAT numbers, which is against the law. After giving a 24-hour deadline to Kejriwal to prove the charges, Satish Upadhyay has also sent a legal notice to Kejriwal on Wednesday.
हमने क्रिमिनल डिफेमेशन डाल दिया है, इलेक्शन कमीशन में कंप्लेन कर दी और मैंने कहा है जिन पर्टिकुलर 2 कंपनियों के संदर्भ में उन्होंने कहा था और हमने कहा वो कंपनी एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती, उस पर जिस पर उन्होंने हम पर एलिगेशन लगाए थे या तो वो राजनीति छोड़ दें और या फिर जवाब दें, तो उन्होंने जवाब नहीं दिया, वो पीसी में ही नहीं पहुंचे। अब जनता को तय करना है वो क्या करेंगे, बाकी जो क्रिमिनल प्रोसीडिंग है या जो कानूनी कार्रवाई है उसको हम लगातार करेंगे।
What rule or what regulation are they actually going to the Election Commission? What law has been violated? What we have presented is evidence of the fact that 6 companies owned by Satish Upadhyay, started by Satish Upadhyay, in which Ashish Sood, who is also the Vice President of BJP, were involved. Satish Upadhyay himself has only said that he is not involved with 2 of those companies. That means that he is associated with 4 companies.
But the Aam Aadmi Party is unfazed by BJP's moves. The party decided to step up the attack on Upadhyay, threatening to expose him with more revelations.
उनको अपना स्किन तो सेव करना है ना, क्या कहें? अब वो यही कहेंगे मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल के खिलाफ डिफेमेशन करूंगा, यही कह सकते हैं और कुछ कह ही नहीं सकते।
ये देश एक बात जानता है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जब कोई आरोप लगाते हैं तो उसके पीछे प्रमाण होता है, कागज होते हैं, बिना तैयारी किए नहीं करते।
The Aam Aadmi Party has also alleged that the BJP had been dilly-dallying over its promise of slashing electricity tariff by 30% in Delhi. But it did not criticize the firms when the CAG had complained that the DISCOMs did not furnish details of their finances. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, moving on. Now, Hari Shankar Brahma will take charge as the Chief Election Commissioner today. Incumbent CEC V.S. Sampath demitted office on Thursday on attaining the age of 65. The Law Ministry statement said that the President has appointed Hari Shankar Brahma, the senior-most election commissioner in the Election Commission of India, as the new Chief Election Commissioner. It is a convention that to appoint the senior-most among the election commissioners as the Chief Election Commissioner. The government will now set in motion the process to appoint an election commissioner to fill the vacancy in the 3-member body. Brahma is a 1975 batch IAS officer of the Andhra Pradesh cadre. He will have a tenure of slightly over 3 months till April 19th when he turns 65, the upper age limit for the post under the Constitution of India. Brahma was the Union Power Secretary before his induction into the Election Commission. Outgoing CEC V.S. Sampath, meanwhile, said that he had a very satisfying 10-year tenure at the Election Commission.
I had the unique experience of watching 2 successive election, and 2014 election is one which had seen unprecedented voter participation, highest ever in the annals of Indian democracy. I am really feeling very happy that I am part of this exercise.
Well, in more national news now, over 200 terrorists could be waiting across the Jammu and Kashmir border, ready to infiltrate into India. That's the shocking warning given out by a top army commander as counter-infiltration and security measures hit a new pitch ahead of US President Barack Obama's visit to India later this month.
तकरीबन 200 मिलिटेंट्स जो है लॉन्च पैड और ट्रेनिंग कैंप के बीच में जो घूम रहे हैं, ये कोशिश करते हुए कि कब मौका मिले इनको इन्फिल्ट्रेशन के लिए.
The assessment sends out a wave of concern. Police took on militants in the valley first on Wednesday, then again on Thursday in armed encounters. On Wednesday, an LET commander was shot dead. A day later, 5 terrorists have been killed in Shopian. More are suspected holed up inside huts. In Kaddar forest area, cordon and search operations are underway after information of terrorists in the area. The army assures that the most acute counter-infiltration measures are firmly in place.
As the army chief said yesterday, I would like to reiterate that terrorist infrastructure in POK is intact. Any organization of this kind will definitely have the capacity to strike at certain places, which we'll take care of, and the response will be very, very lethal.
Not far away in Surankot, also in the Kashmir Valley, police and special operations group have seized a massive cache of arms and ammunition. Search action is to continue on warnings of more threatening material.
ये तकरीबन 3-4 दिन हमारे पास एक स्पेसिफिक इनपुट आया। उस इनपुट में जो स्पेसिफिक इंडिकेशन थी वो एक पर्टिकुलर प्लेस की थी कि वहाँ पे आर्म्स एम्युनिशन और एक्सप्लोजिव्स का हॉल है, along with suspected terrorist movement भी है।
Security experts point the finger squarely at Pakistan.
ये एनकाउंटर चलते रहेंगे, इसके 2-3 मुख्य कारण हैं। एक तो जॉन कैरी साहब जब आए थे हिंदुस्तान में अभी कुछ दिन पहले, तारिक अजीज से उनसे बात हुई थी कि आप टेररिज्म को कंट्रोल करिए। तो तारिक अजीज साहब ने कहा था कि हमारे गुड टेररिस्ट हैं, हम उनको टच नहीं करेंगे और कश्मीर हमारा मुद्दा बना रहेगा।
Ahead of US President Barack Obama's India visit for Republic Day, terror warnings have been sounded for army camps, highways, civilian areas and even schools. Security is to go up manifold in the run-up. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, Pakistan may soon announce a ban on terror outfits like Jamaat-ud-Dawa and Afghan-based Haqqani network. According to reports, LET is also on the list of more than 10 such outfits to be banned by Pakistan. The reports have come only days after US Secretary of State John Kerry insisted that Pakistan takes effective actions against these groups.
Terror groups like the Pakistani and Afghan Taliban, the Haqqani network, Lashkar-e-Taiba and other groups continue to pose a threat not just to Pakistan and its neighbors, but also to the United States and the world. The task is a difficult one and it is not done. We all have a responsibility to ensure that these extremists are no longer able to secure a foothold in this country or elsewhere.
On Tuesday, US made it amply clear to Pakistan that it has to take effective steps against terror outfits to protect global interests in the South Asia region. Sharing the stage with Pak Foreign Advisor Sartaj Aziz, Kerry said all extremist groups should be targeted equally. On Thursday, there were reports of Pakistan planning to ban more than 10 such outfits. They include outfits like LET, which carried out the 26/11 Mumbai attacks in 2008. The announcement is set to be made soon at a time when US President Barack Obama is set to visit the subcontinent. Experts welcomed the report, calling it a more definite step by Pakistan against terror outfits.
After 16th December attack on Army Public School in Peshawar, the Pakistan Army has been going hammer and tongs against all Taliban. And for a change, they have eradicated the distinction between good and bad Taliban. And this shows that at least as far as western borders are concerned, Pakistan is serious as far as eradication of all radical outfits are concerned.
India has long been demanding a ban on the Hafiz Saeed-led JUD, which is accused of masterminding the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks. Both New Delhi and Washington have long considered JUD a front for the Lashkar-e-Toiba terror outfit. US had also designated Mullah Fazlullah, chief of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, a global terrorist and slapped sanctions on him. The number of proscribed outfits in Pakistan will reach to 72. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, it's time for a short break now, but on the other side, we'll tell you all about a Paris-like terror attack that was foiled in neighboring Belgium. Stay tuned. Details after this short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. Well, in a move that surprised and cheered the markets, the RBI on Thursday announced a 25 basis point reduction in interest rates. More significantly, it signalled more cuts amid signs of cooling inflation. On its part, the government welcomed the development while calling it a positive development for its efforts to achieve economic growth without stoking inflation. Yes, ma'am.
After resisting persistent demands from the industry and the government for 18 months, the Reserve Bank cut interest rates by 0.25% on Thursday. An RBI statement said the bank was cutting policy repo rate under the Liquidity Adjustment Facility by 25 basis points from 8% to 7.75% with immediate effect.
The reduction in the rates is a positive development. It will lead to more money in the hands of the consumer, greater spending. It's positive for the Indian economy.
The move immediately sent markets soaring, with the BSE benchmark Sensex surging over 800 points in intraday trading. And amid high expectations of impending lower EMIs for home and auto loans, United Bank of India said it would cut its base rate by 25 basis points to 10% from 1st February.
Both spending by firms and by consumers will increase, and therefore this is it will also act in directly and indirectly. Directly because it'll be easier for the credit system to flow. There'll be more demand for credit. Banks' position will be better, and also indirectly because the balance sheet of the private sector and the banks will also improve.
The cut in the repo rate comes a fortnight ahead of the slated monetary policy review on 3rd February, apparently on the back of a softening inflation. It also follows a commitment of the government to stick to the fiscal deficit target of 4.1% of the GDP in the current financial year.
The fact that the rate cuts have happened at this time when economic momentum is picking up and when disinflationary pressures are as strong as they are, I think are a strong indication that the economic cycle has dramatically turned, that this is an inflection point, and that what we're working towards with is dramatic and accelerating growth is starting to emerge.
The bank reduced the repo rate last in May 2013 when it cut the rate from 7.5% to 7.25%. Ever since, rates have been going up and remained at 8% since January 2014. The State Bank of India and ICICI Bank said Thursday's rate cut showed that there was more scope for interest rate cuts. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
Well, India's trade deficit declined to a 10-month low of $9.43 billion in December. The decline was mainly due to falling imports because of the slump in the oil prices. Gold imports showed an increase from last year to $1.34 billion in December, but it is a substantial decline from the previous month. Imports bills declined by 4.8% in December 2013, leading to improvement in the trade balance situation. Exports too fell by 3.8% to $25.4 billion. Oil imports were valued at $9.94 billion, down 28.6% in the corresponding period last year. The trade deficit in December is down 44% compared to November. In December 2013, it was $10.2 billion. For all the other national news and updates that we are tracking this hour, here's Nationwide. The mega merger plan of 5 parties into a grand Janta Parivar seems to have hit rough weather, with Samajwadi Party chief Mulayam Singh Yadav sidelined on many issues concerning the Parivar. Since the formation of the party, Mulayam taking the lead, he has shown signs of reluctance over the merger of different parties, which has displeased some smaller parties. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu met Prime Minister Narendra Modi and sought special status for the state yesterday. Naidu said Andhra Pradesh requires greater attention from the centre as a great injustice was done in the process of bifurcation. Naidu has also demanded special financial support to create essential facilities in the new capital. After about a month of uncertainty, Kalanidhi Maran and his associates have transferred the ownership and management control of troubled low-cost carrier SpiceJet to former promoter Ajay Singh and a group of investors. Maran and his associate company will transfer their 53% stake to Ajay Singh, who will be the company's chairman now. Most parts of Himachal Pradesh continued to reel under Arctic-like conditions as the mercury stayed close to freezing point and cold wave intensified further. Similar weather conditions were seen in Delhi, with dense fog slowing down road, rail and air traffic. There has been no respite from the cold wave conditions in North India. Moving on to some international news now. The attack on Charlie Hebdo and a kosher supermarket in Paris that left 17 people dead has set off a new political war of words between Turkey and Israel. Turkish Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu has compared his Israeli counterpart Benjamin Netanyahu to the terrorists who carried out the Paris attack. Here's more.
Turkish Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu has compared his Israeli counterpart Benjamin Netanyahu to the terrorist who killed 17 people in Paris last week. Davutoglu says both the terrorist and Netanyahu have committed crimes against humanity. The Turkish Prime Minister said Israel's bombardment of Gaza and its deadly assault on a Turkey-led aid convoy to the Gaza Strip in 2010, in which 10 Turks were killed, were on a par with the Islamist attacks in France.
Paris'te katliam yapan teröristler ne kadar insanlık suçu işlemişlerse, Gazze'de plajda oynayan çocukları hava bombardımanıyla katleden, binlerce evi yok eden, her fırsatta Filistinliyi öldürmeyi neredeyse doğal hale getiren ve bizim için
Israel has refused to take the criticism and the comparison lightly. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu urged world leaders to condemn Turkey's anti-Israel rhetoric.
ולדברים החמורים של נשיא טורקיה ארדואן מצטרף היום גם ראש הממשלה שלו. ועד לרגע זה לא שמעתי גינוי בקהילה הבינלאומית לדברים פסולים אלה. אני מבקש לומר שיהיה ברור שאם הקהילה הבינלאומית לא תגנה את אלה שמביעים תמיכה בטרור.
Earlier, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan had also criticized Israel for participating in the March of Solidarity with world leaders in Paris. Once allies, relations between Turkey and Israel came a cropper when the Turkish aid convoy was attacked by Israel. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, a week after the terror attacks in France, counter-terror units foiled a plot to stage a major attack in neighboring Belgium. 2 gunmen were killed and another one was wounded in a shootout in the town of Verviers near the German border. Police had targeted a group returning from Syria. The group had been preparing to launch large-scale attacks in Belgium. No policemen or members of the public were harmed. All 3 gunmen were Belgian nationals. Anti-terror raids continued overnight in Brussels and surrounding areas. The terror threat level in Belgium has been raised to 3 of 4, the second highest. And now for all the other international news we are tracking here on Rajya Sabha Television, here's our World Wrap. The United Nations called on Israel to unlock millions of dollars in taxes owed to the Palestinian Authority that were pending after it decided to join the International Criminal Court. A senior UN official told the Security Council that the freeze of about $127 million imposed on January 3rd was in violation of the Oslo Agreement between Israel and Palestine. The US and the European Union have criticized Israel's retaliatory move. Days after the deadly massacre by Boko Haram militants, Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan made a surprise visit to insurgency-plagued northeast Nigeria. It was the president's first visit to Borno, the area worst affected by the advance of rebels seeking to carve an Islamic state in Nigeria. Jonathan has been criticized for not doing enough. The Iraqi Air Force hit and destroyed positions occupied by Islamic State forces in the western provinces of Anbar, Dijla and Samarra north of Baghdad. The airstrikes killed several insurgents. US-led forces have launched 18 airstrikes against the Islamic State in Syria and Iraq in the last 24 hours. The UN has said that the Ebola virus that has claimed over 8,400 lives in West Africa appears to be slowing down, but the battle to contain the disease is still not over. Facilities to treat people and safe burial services have led to the slowdown. However, it is not clear when the outbreak of the virus could be definitely over. At least 14 people were wounded in scuffles between police and protesters as several thousand rallied in the Armenian city of Gyumri, demanding the handover of a Russian soldier accused of killing 6 members of a local family. Russia's defense ministry has acknowledged the accused soldier and called the incident a tragedy. The incident has whipped up tension between the 2 countries. Moving on to some entertainment news now. The nominations for the 87th Academy Awards were announced yesterday in Los Angeles. Birdman and the Grand Budapest Hotel lead the pack with 9 nominations each. The award ceremony will take place on February 22nd. Neil Patrick Harris will host the awards. Here's more.
In Naruto's genre-defying film Birdman and Wes Anderson's The Grand Budapest Hotel are the films to beat at the 87th Oscars set for 27th of February. The two films scored the maximum 9 nominations apiece. Birdman earned 9 nods, including Best Picture, and nominations for its 3 main actors, Michael Keaton, Emma Stone and Edward Norton. The Imitation Game, in another strong showing, had 8 nominations, including Best Picture, Best Director as well as Best Actor. Boyhood had 6, scoring heavily in the major categories.
Grand Budapest Hotel, they led the race with 9 nominations each. That wasn't a total surprise because people really love those movies and they're so spectacular to look at. So I'm not surprised they got nominations.
The shortlist for Best Picture includes American Sniper, Birdman, Boyhood, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Selma, Whiplash, The Imitation Game and The Theory of Everything. However, Ava DuVernay's moving biopic about Martin Luther King Jr., Selma, was snubbed for Best Director. Had DuVernay been nominated, it would have made her the first black woman to be nominated in the category.
In the director's race, I was really surprised. Clint Eastwood, Ava DuVernay for Selma, and David Fincher, who directed Gone Girl. I really thought they were going to get nominated, and they deserve to be, but you know, everybody who's in that race deserves to be there too. So it was an interesting year for film.
Meanwhile, there was disappointment for India as music maestro A.R. Rahman, who has won 2 Oscars, failed to score a nod in the Best Original Score category. Rahman had made it to the list of 114 probables for 3 of his films, including Hollywood movies, The 100-Foot Journey and $1 Million Arm. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
She's my neighbor.
Well, let's now bring you up to date with all the sports action from around the world in our latest sports beat. Australia will face England in the first match of the Tri-Series at the Sydney Cricket Ground in a short while. Australia will look to extend their form against England after having defeated India 2-0 in the 4-match Test series. In the absence of Michael Clarke, George Bailey will lead Australia. England will start under new ODI captain Eoin Morgan after Alistair Cook was dropped by ECB selectors. The Indian team led by Mahendra Singh Dhoni unveiled the team's new ODI kit ahead of the Tri-Series with Australia and England on Thursday. The new lightweight kit is said to combine high-performance innovation along with sustainability. Each kit is made out of an average of 33 recycled plastic bottles. The Indian cricketers will be seen in their new jersey when they take the field against Australia in their first match of the Tri-Series on Sunday. Indian ace Pankaj Advani has advanced to the semi-finals of the National Billiards Championship. Continuing his impressive run, Advani defeated Brijesh Damani 4-1. Advani will now face Railways' Siddharth Parekh in the semi-finals today. Well, it is the 88th birthday of music director and composer O.P. Nair. Known for his melodious compositions, he is credited with bringing a new sound to Indian cinema. Here's our tribute to the maestro on his birth anniversary.
बाबूजी धीरे चलना कार में जरा संभलना हाँ बड़े धोखे हैं इस राह में कजरा मोहब्बत वाला अखियों में ऐसा डाला कजरे ने ले